So, the desert is a really strange place, and to survive in the desert, animals have to be really, really strange themselves. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to show you some weird looking animals, and I'm going to tell you why they look that strange. I'm going to tell you what they can do and what they can't do, and just what makes desert animals weird. And so, yeah, let's just get started with some weird desert animals. So the first animal I'm going to talk about is the Gila monster. Gila monsters live in the Sonoran Desert and get to about 20 inches on average. Their name comes from, well, the first part of their name comes from the Gila part comes from the Gila River, and their second part of their name, the monster part, comes from the fact that it's a 20-inch long lizard and it's kind of scary looking, and so it's a monster. So yeah, it's not like they're very dangerous. It's not like they're like a big danger out there in Sonoran Desert. Usually, if you get bitten by a Gila monster, it's your fault because they're not that aggressive. They don't really just run up to you and bite you. They can only run like a mile an hour, and so they basically just stay in their little area. And most of the time when people get bitten, it's just they walk up to it and start poking it with a stick, and they bite them because they're annoyed and threatened. But like if you don't just annoy a Gila monster, it's gonna leave you alone. So yeah, they're not like something that you need to be afraid of really, unless you do something dumb. But their bite, if you anger them, if you anger the Great Gila Monster, the Great Gila Monster will respond with a bite. Now, the bites of a Gila Monster are pretty strange because they bite you and they just don't let go. They bite onto your arm, say, and they're one of the only venomous lizards ever, right now alive. So, basically, they just bite you, and the longer they bite you, the more venom goes into you, and they just stay on, and it's not nice, obviously. Now, I've heard from some people that if you get bitten by a Gila monster, you should dunk the Gila monster and the part that the Gila monster is biting, in water so that it'll let go. There are a few issues with that. Number one, I don't know if that's exactly true, because I've heard other people saying that you shouldn't do that. And also, the problem with the desert is that it's characterized by the fact that it lacks standing water. So it's like I don't really know where you're not really just going to get like a giant pond or whatever. This is the Sonoran Desert. There are not that many ponds around, but generally, maybe that would work. I've also heard people just say pry it off, which does not sound the best. They have like giant grooves on their teeth and everything, and it just feels like really terrible, but it's a bad situation, really. It's a really bad situation. But yeah, overall, I'm painting it very badly, but they're not a bad creature. They're just nice. They're nice. They just have a defense mechanism that if you annoy it, they annoy you by the fact that they bite you. And yeah, not that many people die. Like barely anyone has died to a Gila monster, like at all. Because it's not that their bites aren't deadly usually, and also just getting bitten is not common. But they are a very cool creature, I think, in the Sonoran Desert. I love them. And yeah, that's the Gila monster. The second animal we're going to talk about is the bark scorpion. Now, the bark scorpion is very small. It's like 2 to 3 inches long. It's a very, very small, it's a scorpion. And they also live in the Sonoran Desert. Now, there are a few interesting things about it. One of them is they're like the only, they're the most dangerous scorpion in the United States because they are very venomous. They are extremely venomous. And yeah, so you really don't want to get stung by them at all. Now, basically, no one has died. Very much similar to like the Gila monster. No, not really many people have died from the bark scorpion. That's because like people have anti-venom and stuff. But it is a danger to people, especially like young kids and stuff, because they're the most vulnerable demographic. Now, interesting things about them: they glow when you shine like an ultraviolet light at them, which is pretty cool. And I've done that before, where I've looked it through like places that scorpions might be to find like scorpions that glow with a black light because they glow, and it's actually pretty interesting to see. It's a very cool thing to do if you are near scorpions because you can look at scorpions in the night and not get near them really because you don't want to die. But yeah. And another interesting thing, like so whenever they have their kids, as you can see in these pictures, whenever they have their kids, they give birth, and then the babies will like ride around on them, like you would ride around on like an elephant. I don't know, that's a really bad analogy, but like basically they ride around on their parents, and it's very nice, kind of, I guess. I don't know. I've never been a scorpion. I wouldn't really know how to evaluate that situation, but yeah, they're very deadly. They're not something that you want to meet and get stung by, but they are a very important part of the area, just like the Gila monster. So the last animal we're going to talk about is the thorny devil. Now, the thorny devil lives in Australia, so you are free from me going about like my tangents being like back in the American Southwest, the Sonoran Desert. This is how things are. No, this is Australia, which is a place that I've never been to, and so you're not going to have any anecdotes like that. So yes, this is the thorny devil. Now, thorny devils can get like average like 8 inches about, and they look like this. Now, obviously, they are pretty thorny, hence the name. The thorns are they are basically just to stop animals from eating them. Interesting thing about animals is that they don't like being eaten, and the thorns prevent that from happening. Basically, if you're an animal that thinks about eating this creature, you would probably just say, "Hey, this thing has a bunch of thorns on it. I'd rather eat literally anything else because this seems like it wouldn't be a comfortable experience." And that's to the thorny devil's advantage. Now, also an interesting thing about the thorny devil is that thorny devils have like a decoy head. Because okay, so there's this little knob in the back of their neck right here, which is like it's supposed to be like this fake head that is like a decoy. And so like if an animal wants to attack it, it might attack the fake head, and the thorny devil can run away and not have their actual head attacked, which I think is a really cool thing. Like I've seen animals that have like decoy coloring or something, like a butterfly. There are butterflies that like have their wings look like faces or something, with the coloring of their wings that look like eyes and noses and stuff. But this thing is, I think, one of the first animals I've ever seen that like just creates and has an entirely extra appendage that's just there to be like a decoy, like a fake. Which I think this is a really awesome creature. Just like investing in these like really weird features. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna be extremely thorny, and I'm just gonna have a decoy head. Sure. I don't know. I like this animal a lot, and I want to see them one day in person because that seems pretty cool. Because I don't live in Australia, but it seems like a pretty cool creature to see in person. Now, yeah, thank you for watching the video. This is the end of the video, and it's been a fun time talking about some stuff that I've done in the desert, talking about some animals that live in the desert, and yeah, all that type of stuff. So, thank you for watching. If you want to do that, please like and subscribe because that'd be pretty neat of you to do. You don't have to, obviously. I'm not a thorny devil. I'm not gonna spear you with my spikes, but it'll be pretty neat if you did that. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you later. Maybe, I don't know, who knows. But farewell.